Hello, welcome to this week's Toddler Time. You might remember 2 weeks ago I told the story about how God created the world, and then we had an animal story last week about some wolves, and this week I'm going to tell you another animal story. But first, shall we start off with a couple of songs? Thinking about God's creation, here's a song that we sang quite a lot of weeks ago last summer. It goes like this. You can do some actions with me. My God is so big. Stretch out your arms wide. So strong. And so mighty. There's nothing that he cannot do. Should we sing that? My God is so big. So strong and so mighty. There's nothing that he cannot do. And you repeat that. My God is so big. So strong and so mighty, there's nothing that he cannot do. The mountains are his. Do you want to do that? The mountains are his. The rivers are his. The stars are his handiwork too. To do a flick like that for stars. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing that he cannot do. Should we sing that then? Ready? My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing that he cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing that he cannot do. The mountains are his, the rivers are his, the stars are his handiwork too. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing that he cannot do. Then if you want to, you can point to someone else in your house and say, for you, or you, or you. Let's sing it through once more. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing that he cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing that he cannot do. The mountains are his, the rivers are his, the stars are his handiwork too. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing that he cannot do. For you, or you, or you. Let's try last week's song. Jesus made me just like him, eyes and ears and nose and chin, hands and fingers, feet and toes, heart that loves and hair that grows. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. He made me just like him. Jesus made me and my friends, made my back and arms that bend, wrist and ankles, legs and knees, gave me lungs so I can breathe. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. He made me just like him. So let's sing the two verses through, and then we do the chorus at the end, shall we? Jesus made me just like him, eyes and ears and nose and chin, hands and fingers, feet and toes, heart that loves and hair that grows. Jesus made me and my friends, made my back and arms that bend, wrist and ankles, legs and knees, gave me lungs so I could breathe. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. He made me just like him. Danny lived in a town a bit like the town where you live. Can you tell me some of the shops that are in your town? Go on, just mention them. Well, in the town where Danny lived, there was many shops, including a bank, a bakery, a cafe, a newsagent's, 2 supermarkets, a hairdresser's, a pound shop, a butcher's, a chemist, and a florist. Lots of shops. Guess what Danny's favourite shop was? What's your favourite shop? Have you got a favourite shop? Danny's favourite shop was Cooper's Pet Shop. And in the window of Cooper's Pet Shop, there was a big sign that said, "Puppies for sale, ready to go to a good home." Now, Danny was 9 years old, and he'd really wanted a puppy for a long time, and he'd been saving his pocket money. Danny went into the pet shop and said to the man, who was Mr. Cooper, "How much are the puppies?" The pet shop owner replied, £30. Danny had been saving his pocket money. His mum gave him £2 a week. So he got out his money from his pocket, put it on the counter and counted it. Do you want to count it with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. £10 coins was all that Danny had. It wasn't enough. Now, how many weeks had he been saving up for? If he's given £2 a week and he's got £10, let's count up and see how many weeks he'd been saving for. Ready? Can you count in twos? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Danny had been saving for 5 weeks. "I haven't got enough money, Mr. Cooper," he said, "but can I see the puppies anyway?" Mr. Cooper let out a loud whistle. Can you whistle? Go on if you can. Whistle with me. Try it again. Once more. And from the other room, a door opened, and in came a mummy dog, followed by, let's say how many puppies. Do you want to count them with me again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, wait a minute. There was another one. 6. A little puppy, smaller than the others. He came in, but he was limping. He was a brown puppy with white paws. And Danny said, "What's the matter with that little dog? He's limping." Mr. Cooper said, "Well, I had to get the vet out. The vet has examined the puppy and he has no hip socket, which means he can't be cured. He'll always have a limp." Danny got excited and he jumped up and down, waved his arms like that. Do you do that when you get excited? He did that, waved his arms, and he said, "That's the one I want." Do you want to do that with me? Wave your arms, jump up and down. "That's the one I want." Mr. Cooper laughed. "You don't want that puppy," he said. "He'll never get any better. He'll never be able to run. He'll never be able to jump. And you won't be able to play rough games with him." "I don't mind," said Danny. "That's the puppy I want." Mr. Cooper said, "Well, if I won't be able to sell that puppy, you can have him for nothing. You can have him free." No, said Danny. "I don't want the puppy free. He's as special as the other puppies. Let me pay you my £10 pocket money now, and then what I'll do is come in every Saturday morning and give you £2 of pocket money every week until I've paid the £30 off." Mr. Cooper couldn't understand why Danny was being like this. "Are you sure you can have the puppy?" No, that puppy is as valuable as the others. He's worth as much as them. I want to pay for him. That's the one I want." Mr. Cooper shook his head and said, "Are you sure?" And Danny said, "Look." And he bent down and he rolled up his right trouser leg, and it revealed a badly twisted, crippled leg which was supported by a brace. "Mr. Cooper, I can't run very well either. I can't jump. That little puppy needs someone who understands him, who knows what his life will be like. I will love him and care for him, and we'll be the best of friends. I think he's a special little puppy." "Okay," said Mr. Cooper, "you can have the little one, but you better bring your mum in just to make sure that's all right, because I need to explain to her about his leg and everything." "Yes," said Danny, I'll come back this afternoon with mum." And that's what he did. Later that afternoon, Danny and his mum went in and saw Mr. Cooper. Mr. Cooper explained about the puppy always having a limp, and Danny's mum said, "No, that's okay, that's the one he wants." When Mr. Cooper said to Danny's mum, "I was very impressed with Danny's attitude. Because he insists on paying for the puppy, I will give you a gift of a dog's lead and a sack of puppy food." Danny's mum thanked Mr. Cooper very much. And Danny said, "I'm going to call him Buddy, because me and Buddy will be the best of friends." Well, I hope you like that story. And one thing that reminds me of is something that God says in the Bible. God says that he doesn't look at the outward appearance, but he looks at the heart. In other words, what is important to God is what we're like inside. Are we kind? Are we patient? Are we caring? Are we thoughtful? Do we say nice things to other people? Many people look at other people from the outside, what they look like from the outside, how old they are, how tall they are, how clever they are, how good they are at school lessons, how fast they can run. These things are good things, but the important thing is that we are kind, caring people. And that is what God is more concerned about. Well, I hope you've liked that story today. Just in case you would like one more song, we'll sing the other one I taught you last week. Just go through it once. God made me and all of you, all of you, all of you. God made me and all of you. He loves us. God made sky and land and sea, land and sea, land and sea. God made sky and land and sea. The world is big. God made stars and moon and sun, moon and sun, moon and sun. God made stars and moon and sun. The sun shines bright. Ready to jump? God made frogs and birds as well, birds as well, birds as well. God made frogs and birds as well, ribbit and cheep. Well, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you next week. Bye.